And today we're in a series talking about how to continue to grow past stress points. And what we're going to share today is really just a miniature portion of being a leader. Because honestly, to continue to grow a practice, to lead your team, to lead your patients, it really comes down to Leadership 101. So today we're going to talk about 4 points. And again, if you're a member of Aligned and AMC, you should be familiar with a poem written by our founder, Dr. Tom Owen, called A Leader. And there's about 24 lines in that leadership poem that are just leadership truths, leadership principles, that if we actually did those on a consistent basis, we would be a leader. We would continue to outgrow stress points a lot easier than we tend to do now. But for our time today, I want to just cover the first 4. And I'm going to look down so I don't get them wrong. So the first one is a leader lives on time. So think about your world. You know, if you consider yourself a leader, which I hope you do, and you should, you know, do you live on time? What does that mean? You know, after working with hundreds of offices over the years, I found out that there is a certain percentage of offices and doctors that show up about 5 minutes before patients come through the door. Now, in our head, in our schedule, we're on time. Hey, I'm a leader. I live on time. But are you? When should you get to that office? When do leaders get to the office and plan and give pre-thought and set expectations and do their morning huddles and get their teams inspired and motivated and on purpose for that? You can't do that showing up 5 minutes before patients come through the door. So in regards to, you know, the office standpoint, a leader is going to live on time. He's going to set a time to be there well in advance to do actually those things I just mentioned, right? To create that energy in that day every day. So a leader lives on time, number 1, and see how well you do at that. Again, being a leader inside the office and a leader outside the office, the principles are going to be the same. You want to be a leader outside the office in your community? Leaders live on time. Number 2, keep up to date and are organized. And that's a hard one for us variable, disorganized people to hear. I got to be organized. You do have to be organized. You don't have to be so structured that it stifles creativity, but a leader is going to be up to date, right? They're going to know what's happening with their team, what's happening with their practice, what's happening with their patients or their business, right? They're going to stay up to date with what is happening and try to actually be out in front of that. And the only way to do that is to be organized and or surround yourself with organized people, right? Because there are lots of great leaders that just personality-wise are not that organized, but they surround themselves with very organized people that structure and organize, you know, their business or their practice or, you know, whatever context we're putting this in. So up to date and organized. Second leadership principle today. Third one, cannot participate in negativity. My goodness, my goodness, my goodness. Our culture today, whether it be social media, whether it be news, whether it be whatever outlet that you get, and this isn't new, right? It is just true. A lot of the external stuff coming to us isn't overly positive. So if we choose to be a leader, to continue to grow a strong, stable practice, then we've got to choose not to participate with that and actually, you know, when it comes down to it, not allow negativity to be in our presence, right? That's not saying we don't have negative things we have to deal with and we stick our head in the sand. It is just not participating. It is dealing with it and looking at the, you know, the 90 things that are going great instead of the 10% of things or 10 things that aren't. So we're not going to participate in negativity. Leadership tool number 3. Number 4 is a self-motivator. What does that mean? That means I'm not always waiting for the next seminar, the next rah-rah thing, the next, you know, guru to motivate me. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, and those things can be great, but if we're totally reliant on an external motivation to keep us up, to keep our energy up, that is going to be one of these up and down roller coaster rides, forever. And some of you and some of us have been on that roller coaster ride. That's not a great one, right? It can be okay at first, but man, if you're on there for a long time, that will wear you out. So with that, we are going to learn to be a self-motivator. Part of that comes back to C rule number 1, a leader lives on time. Well, if I'm on time and I'm prepping and I have a good routine every day, I'm going to figure out a way, even if I'm a slow riser, right? Some are morning people, some are, better in the afternoons and evenings. But if we have patients coming in at 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning, then I've got to figure out a way in my routine to get motivated each and every day and to motivate others, thus being a leader. All right. Last bullet point. This may be a bonus for today. The leader is the pace setter. Okay. The pace setter. What does that mean? That means nobody is going to, if you've ever watched a marathon, there's normally a pace setter. Are they behind, in the middle, or are they out front? They're commonly out front. The pace setter is out front. So when you find yourself motivating yourself, all of a sudden you find yourself being the pace setter, meaning there is nobody going to outrun me in regards to our organization, right? What we're doing, where we're going. I am going to lead that and get out front and stay out front. So I want you to take those 4 or 5 points here today and just run them through. Do I live on time? Am I up to date and am I organized? Do I participate with negativity or positivity? What do I allow around me? Am I a self-motivator? Am I the pace setter? And if we can land on just those, again, I think there's almost 19 or 20 more of those just golden principles inside our aligned systems. But if you start with that, I guarantee, I don't make many guarantees, but I am going to guarantee you will see a change. You will see an uptick in what you're doing. You'll see growth continue to happen past stress points by just incorporating those 5 points today.